Hi, my name is Brandy, and I chose to write about the sexual education codes in public schools. So, many people say that sexual education is failing their children because they're not learning how to be safely and sexually active. The old sexual education code said that children from grades 7 through 12 would be taught age appropriate materials such as biology and ways to protect yourself from sexually transmitted diseases or infections, as it is called now. Many people agree that the sexual education is failing the community, and one good way this is shown is in the movie Mean Girls. When the physical education teacher is teaching sexual education and says, don't have sex because you will get pregnant and die. Don't have sex in the missionary position. Don't have sex standing up. Just don't have sex. Promise? Okay, everyone takes some rubbers, and he passes out condoms. Now, this is how sexual education is portrayed in movies, which is similar to what a lot of public school education systems are teaching on sexual education. The children aren't getting the material that they needed to have a safe sexual environment. Mason Mark wrote an article called 7 Ways the Education System is Failing to Teach, which consist of things that it's more than just biology. This is sex in relation to children, but they don't tell us that, like, how to take a children, what's going to happen during birth, while he also speaks about a lot of other things, like there are emotional factors, and sex shouldn't be something that we should be ashamed of. He speaks on the stereotypes that men are always told, get as much as you can, as to where women are shamed for the way that they have sex. Rachel Sanoff has an article called 7 Problems with the State of Sexual Education in America Today, and how can it be made better. She does a lot of similar points that Mark Mason does, but she also points out the fact that Britain and the Netherlands have a really good sexual education system that starts at a young age, where she's teaching sexual identity to children, so that way there are no stereotypes, there is no way to shame people, and that she is saying that sexual education is helpful when it includes everyone. This includes lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transgender, queer, and all of the other communities that need to be taught. Another article that was written about sexual education from Punjabi talks about sexual education in a very different approach. She talks about how not everyone gets the same education. It varies from state to state, community to community, and even district to district. A child in one district isn't getting the same education as a child literally in the next district over. And at one point is like it not being taught at all. And this is denying the human rights to have the education and information you need to know about the sexual, reproductive, and health system along with sexuality. California, in an idea to help, has made a new sexual education system where it starts from kinder and it goes all the way to 12th grade, where there will still be taught age-appropriate material that is factually based, but it is open to the LGBTQ plus community, and it is age-appropriate material. A lot of parents are allowed to take their children out of the sex ed talk, but when it comes to this new policy, you're allowed to take your children out at a certain point, but once they reach a certain age, they get to decide, and you can't take them out of the sexual identity portion that they are learning in the ages of kinder through 3rd grade. When it comes to the religious concerns, many parents are really upset with this new policy because it either doesn't align with their beliefs or they think that it's too graphic and not age appropriate for their children, which is something that they get to have. When it comes to my religious beliefs, I'm a Christian. I was born and raised in the Christian community, which I have learned, like, you're not allowed to have sex till marriage, and it's not okay to be a part of the LGBTQ community. Now, we shouldn't hate these people, but we shouldn't support them. So when it comes to teaching this stuff to the children, it's really hard for me to get on board. one Bible verse that I will say is Hebrews 13:4 from the English Standard Version says, "Let marriage be in honor among all, and let the marriage bed to be undefiled, for God will judge the sexual immorality and the adulterers." This is a verse saying that we shouldn't have sex before marriage. That bed needs to be pure for you and your husband. And there are other verses that touch on the fact that men shouldn't be with men. God created men and women to be together. He made that specific. And he knew that we were going to have sexual desires, which is why he allowed us to have sex under the confines of marriage. And you can find these in Leviticus 20:13 and 1 Corinthians 7:2. Thank you for listening.